Hello, how are you? We're back. We're back, baby. Auction week, but we've had a very busy period in between.
Mother of God. Busy, busy, busy.
Oh, you're the wife of God.
I'm not.
Right. Anyhow, blasphemy. Don't do that. But anyhow, we had a very busy. Yeah, we had the whiskey bus. A roaring success. Thank you very much to all the guests on the whiskey bus, first of all, and thank you to all the brands who supported us, and to Nigel. Lauren is a rock star. She put it all together, and it went without a hitch, and I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of people talking about it. I mean, some of the things that we done, simplest things in the world, but great thing. We only got finished that, and we had to tear down to Cork to support our friends Laurie and Sonia with Cork Whisky Fest, and it was exceptional.
That was a great weekend.
It was a brilliant weekend. Their attention to detail in organising it is brilliant. How well it flows, the real casual feel about it. I think it's really spectacular.
And Rob got a fanboy moment.
Why did Rob go? Oh, with Brian Nation.
Barry Crockett.
Barry Crockett. True.
Yeah, he's like a total fanboy
Yeah,
moment.
he was a total fanboy. Well, we were there as well.
I know, but Rob was gushing.
Yeah, he was gushing. And we got the book signed by Barry. Again, thanks to Laurie and Sonia for organising.
Yeah, that was cool.
And now we are into auction week, and between all of that we had shipping going out and shipping bottles coming in and everything else, and we're ready to rock and roll. So it is a busy couple of days ahead for us.
And a very special day today.
It is our anniversary.
Anthony's birthday.
Yes.
Woo-hoo!
Yes.
He's a birthday boy today.
Yes. I'm old. I didn't have grey hairs before I started this. It's our wedding anniversary as well. Well, strangely enough, one of our wedding anniversaries.
Yeah. Long story.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's neither here nor there. It's not important. Shucks, it's only our wedding anniversary. Kicking off today, I suppose, old bottles, and something I just wanted to touch on with last Friday was Graham and Faye Cool's last day with Dingle. They're a lost Irish whiskey to the Irish whiskey community in everything they did, not just for Dingle, but in how well they promoted the brand worldwide. Faye welcoming guests to the Dingle distillery.
And two very, very, very nice people.
Lovely people.
Yes.
But on that, and here's the old business analytical point of me, do you think that the bottles that, Graham, curated and put together, and the distillate that Graham had will have a premium? How does that affect the brand over the years? So we all know about Middleton and the Barry Crockett, Brian Nation, Kevin O'Gorman thing.
Yeah.
The master distillers themselves, how that affects the not the price, I suppose it's the legacy of the bottles.
Yeah.
So I wonder, will something like that happen with Dingle? And the reason what made me think about it is that we've these three bottles up here. We've Dingle Gold, Dingle 8-year-old, and Dingle 16-year-old. And these are Genesis. These are the beginning of Dingle. I mean, when Dingle was when Oliver and the guys were putting it together, they sourced this distillate from Cooley and they put them in a bottle. And I remember, and me and you actually were there. Do you remember being in Lily's one night? Me and you were in Lily's. Remember the one night we were in Lily's, and they had all the bottles.
Oh yes.
And they had all the bottles up round the top. So they'd only launched the Dingle whiskey brand and the vodka brand. And they had all these bottles up on the top of around the inside bar promoting it. I mean, they're a piece of history now. Yeah. They are a piece of history.
Considering Lily's isn't there anymore.
Well, yeah. The one time we went there.
But it was a good night.
It was a good night. But Dingle, these bottles, their history.
Yeah.
So are the bottles that Graham, distilled and released and all that, are they going to be a bit of history as well? Because that's what sort of, contributes to the value of a bottle and all that sort of stuff. And again, they're noted. I think Graham's signatures could be on the front of the bottles as well. So does that change as well? Again, going forward. Besides that, we have...
No, it's his liquid. I'm brain farting. I'm paying attention to me. If it's his liquid that he produced and all that, should they can't put somebody else's name on it?
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So does that add value to it in years to come?
don't
I mean,
know.
well, the way the batch ones now and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. The original batch ones had the 3 signatures along the bottom.
Yeah.
The Liam, Pete Mosley, and Oliver. So does Graham
I don't
bring
know.
value to it? And we won't know.
We won't know.
But I'm just shooting the shit and talking about it. I mean, because that's what contributes to these things. But I don't think it's as overt with any other brand as it is with Middleton.
No, it's not.
Like, I mean, nobody comments on the signature, Colin Egan signature on the Bushmills. I mean, now everybody's talking about Alex's signature, and before that,
You're good with names, I'm not.
yes, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Helen Mulholland.
There you go.
Jesus, I'm getting old. I am getting old. It's my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
But again, it's not as overt with
Yeah.
anybody else's name other than Middleton. And I mean, they celebrate it. They talk about the master distiller Brian Nation and now the master distiller Kevin O'Gorman's. It doesn't seem to happen with anybody else. But will that come in years to come, in 10, 15, 20
Maybe.
years when we're looking back? Hopefully looking back from a beach in Hawaii.
I don't want to go to Hawaii.
All right, somewhere.
I want a house in France.
A house in France. There you go. And if anybody's
With
got
a
a house
turret.
in France and they want to donate it to me, I'm quite willing to accept it.
I want a turret
And shit.
and shit.
Torrent and shit. Ellen, sorry, locks up here. So we have, I mean, again, we were talking about history. So we're talking about, Kilbeggan Distillery. I mean, there's this eternal war between Kilbeggan and Bushmills. I don't think they know they're at war, but I've just created them in a war. Is
Good
that
man.
who was there first? Was the old Brusna distillery there distilling before Bushmills? Bushmills claims that it's the oldest distillery in the world, and yet on the front of the Kilbeggan bottle it says from the world's oldest distillery. That's from Mr. Brian Quinn. Brian Quinn was the distillery manager when he was very instrumental in getting it. He was part of the community that preserved the license in all those years before Cooley bought it. Mr. Teeling was involved in it. But Brian still going strong. Great man to talk to. I
He's
love
funny.
hearing some of the stories out of that place, and it is great to have them. But beside them is these oddities. Absolute oddities. These are sample bottles from the Locks Distillery or from Cooley Distillery, but they've the Locks labels on them. And the reason why they're oddities is that the labels are built. So you can see that they're sections. They cut off different bits of pieces, heavy card. The gold is sort of stuck on, and this is all different and it's loose. They were printed obviously with some sort of label printer, but they were obviously running samples. And the
Yeah,
reason
to
we
try
know
and-
this is because in the back of them, you can see on the back of the label it says number 1, and then we've got a number 4, a number 3, and a number 2. I should have put them in order, but
should have,
anyhow,
but hey.
so there's 1, 4, 3, and 2, and you can see them at the back of it, and that would have been typical of what Mr. Teeling and the team would have been doing. I mean, again, they were sort of creating a brand from nothing. They were trying to sort of capitalize on the old legacy of the
Yeah.
brand and all that sort of stuff. But this was their market research of literally sticking bits of cardboard onto labels with the gold surround, and you can see that stuck on there over it
Who
as
doesn't
well.
love a bit of arts and crafts?
It is a bit of arts and crafts, but just to sort of see what they were going to look like,
Yeah.
and the label looks like. You can see they weren't a finished quality thing. I mean, they've ran, and the ink wasn't, perfect on it, and the paper's not perfect. But again, it was to sort of mock them up and to sort of see what somebody do. That is a genuine piece of distilling history.
It is.
I mean, a genuine piece. So it'd be good for anybody to have them, as I say, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beside that, we have another piece of Locks history. So this was literally the last cask out of Locks. The last known, it says, from the last known cask from Locks in Kilbeggan, 34-year-old. So it was distilled the 1st of March 1946. Huh?
Well,
That is an old bottle. Excise number 35, bottle number 74 out of 480 bottles. So that was it. That's the last cask supposedly out of Locks and Kilbeggan. a mad thing to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be just a mad thing to have? And again, beside that, we have one of the old locks, the old Brusna locks, John Locke and Company, from the old Brusna distillery, 10-year-old. This is a genuine one. I am raising this now and I'm putting it out there in the world, and I might get into trouble over this. I am very concerned with the amount of labels, old labels, that are appearing lately. White label Jamesons, stuff like that. These labels you can buy online anywhere. They were being sold on eBay. The capsules were being sold. I am really genuinely concerned for us all that there could be fakes out there. The fakes is a sort of weird term to describe them as, because it could be a period correct bottle, it could be a period correct label, but it could be Jameson in it.
You don't know what's in the bottle. And we just don't know. And the problem is, telling some of these things is getting harder and harder and harder. We have to look for the minute detail on these things, and we are refusing bottles. We genuinely are refusing bottles because we are concerned that some of them, they might be legit. Oh, some of the ones we have turned away possibly are legit,
but we just have to put our name to it, and ultimately that's what we have to do. And I mean, it's been the same since day one. I've always felt a personal responsibility that we're putting our name to every single bottle. Our original design, I mean, our logo was the stamp that we sort of, I remember the conversations with the guys around designing the brand. It was like our stamp and our seal of approval that we approved this bottle, and it's something that it's happened in Scotch. It's everywhere in Scotch. It's rampant in Scotch.
And if we've sent a bottle back to somebody, please don't take offence. It's not. But it's just personal.
Us. It's just, we have to be able to, because if we sell it and somebody comes back fighting with us, we have to go to, well, what do we do here? I mean, pay to somebody, a buyer, seller, and all that sort of stuff.
But it's not that. You don't want to be responsible for giving somebody something that's not genuine either.
But no, and as I say, there's no deliberate, but they're getting harder.
They are.
They're bloody getting harder. And there's so many of them out there. And sometimes when we have bottles, we know who they came from. So we know there's a bottle sitting up in my office, and it's a white label bottle of Jameson, but it's in a Smirnoff bottle.
Yes.
It's in a Smirnoff embossed bottle. And you'd look at it and you go, that's just fake.
Yeah.
But I know who that came from, and I know there's not a chance in hell that's fake because of its originality, where it came from. But that's what was happening. I mean, bars were literally putting, when they were doing their own bonding, they were literally putting them in any bottles. No different than what I often say about John Teeling. You would have put it into a dirty bucket at the time, the kegs, the casks, and then the bottling. I mean, that was one of the things. We also have this month, we have a full collection of Midleton Very Rare.
Individuals.
As individual bottles. It is unique in the world. Having them all up there at the minute, Ellen, but there's 87s, 85s, there's an 88 there in the middle in great condition. There's 84s, there's 86s, 89s. There's every single year of Midleton Very Rare right up to 2024. So it is a whopper of an auction.
Yes.
The lads are busy running around like headless chickens. They're all panicking, and I'm the serene master who controls it all.
Same lies every month, people. Sorry.
That's what I have to convince myself. Right, until tomorrow, we are done. History, birthday, anniversary, ta-da, auction. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.